When I think about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think about Super Nintendo. I think about arcade games. I think about the mall. Do you guys remember the mall? Remember the mall? I think about pizza promos, cul-de-sacs. I think about no responsibility. I think about asking my parents if I can stay up just 5 more minutes to finish that level. And I think about how fantastic the characters of Master Splinter and Shredder really are. TMNT Shredder's Revenge takes me back to those things. Question is, should you buy it? Spend the seriously hard-earned and precious money on this 3 to 5 hour title? In short, yes, but I would wait until it's a little bit cheaper. Let's talk about it. Game's description. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge features groundbreaking gameplay rooted in timeless classic brawling mechanics. Bash your way through gorgeous pixel art environments, slay tons of hellacious enemies with your favorite turtle, each with his own skills and moves. By doing this, it makes each run in TMNT Shredder's Revenge unique. Choose a fighter, use radical combos, defeat your opponents, and experience intense combat loaded with breathtaking action and outrageous ninja abilities. Stay sharp as you face off against Shredder and his faithful Foot Clan. Or grab your best buds and play up to 6 players simultaneously. Enjoy stunning full-color pixel art graphics and a vintage TMNT vibe that will rock you straight back to the awesome 80s. Every character, vehicle, weapon, item, and background is directly inspired by the 1987 TV show, making you feel like you hopped straight into the television with a dope mix of killer humor and action-packed adventures. Developed by Tribute Games and published by Dotemu, which I butchered that name. It's either Dotemu, 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 with Bebop and Rocksteady assaulting Channel 6 and stealing super gnarly devices to support Krang and Shredder's latest twisted plan. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge sees the Turtles battling across a righteous range of timeless TMNT locations. From Manhattan and Coney Island to city rooftops and dank sewers, help the fearsome foursome trounce foot soldiers, Triceraton warriors, and rock troops all the way to Dimension X. Let's talk about the target audience. Now, the nostalgia crowd is going to seriously love this game, but it can be truly picked up by anyone. If you're a hardcore gamer looking to kill some time on a plane or an afternoon when the house is empty, this is a great title for that. It's also a great title, one shot for streamers, creators. If you also want to do a Discord party game night, this is going to fit in perfectly with that schedule. Co-op or solo, it's easy to pick up and get to taking down the bad guys. Let's talk about the art style. TMNT Shredder's Revenge is self-described as a stunning full-color pixel art. Color on top of pixel art on top of color. They had a vision and executed. If you don't like the retro pixel styles, you're not going to like this game. Let's talk about the combat. Now, button mashing friendly, combo skill heavy. If you're a fan of either, you're going to fit right in. Each character you can use operates with a different speed, power, special attacks. There is a choice and preference, so you don't have to use characters you don't prefer. I'm partial to Donatello, April, and Casey Jones. It's that classic side-scrolling enemy rush. Build your combos and unleash your ultimate as much as possible, such as kicking a manhole cover at an enemy but proceeding to fall into the hole left behind. Along the way, you'll find useful power-ups such as full health pizzas, unlimited ultimate power, which allows you to spam your most powerful attacks, and other collectibles. It's an arcade feel at home. It's just fun. It's just fun to play. Let's talk about the core mechanics. Now, combat is certainly the focal point here. You're going to drop into levels and immediately be swarmed with enemies. There are a couple levels where you're in a vehicle, but this is level specific and it's isolated to that level. Plenty of boss fights to be had, plenty of co-op to share. You can rock it solo or bring a whole mess of friends to join. The co-op modes are the most fun in my opinion, but I still enjoyed it rocking a solo. Let's talk about the audio. Don't have much to say here as they are self-described. It's an 80s feel. The music, the sound design feels straight out of an arcade or a comic book come to life. So it's not trying to do more than what it is, and it did its job. It's exactly what I was expecting and delivered exactly what I was expecting. Let's talk about the story. A tale as old as TMNT time. Stop Shredder. You're going to see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiar locations if you've ever dipped your toe into the TMNT pool. Manhattan, Coney Island, and of course the sewers. Foot Clan is mucking things up and it's your job to stop it. Now, I'm not going to say too much on the story as frankly, it's not that deep in this game. It's not meant to be either in my opinion. You're going to have some cutscenes sprinkled throughout the game advancing the story, but for me, I wanted to get into levels as fast as possible to start whooping some ass. Let's talk about the content. Now, Shredder's Revenge can be completed in roughly 3 to 5 hours depending. That said, there are 15 plus hours of achievements in this title, so tons of replayability if that's your thing. Also a party game, so if you and your friends are looking to run a session with 4+ players, you can do that. That said, if you're a one and done campaign person like myself, you'll be through this game in an afternoon. It's a great one shot for a streamer or a creator. It's an arcade game, so can't really expect it to be that long. It's a great fit for TMT fans and arcade fans, beat 'em up game fans, and any fan of that retro art style or side-scrolling style. It can feel a bit grindy. The achievements are for sure, as you have to beat the game over and over with different characters to accomplish certain requirements for those achievements. performance. Let's talk about the QA. Now, I played on Game Pass on PC with an Xbox controller, zero issues. It's extremely system friendly. You can look at the graphics and the effects and the art style. This is going to be friendly for most PCs. Please play it on the controller. Now, games like this have a very specific fan base, but the barrier to entry is virtually zero. Anyone can pick this game up. You can be successful right away. It's fun, it's mindless, it's nostalgic. Really enjoyed my time, though limited. I enjoyed the time with it, but really the question is, should you spend $20 to $30? If it's on Game Pass or another subscription service, I would take the time. Seriously, it's a fun break from anything else out there. TMNT fans, you're gonna be happy with it, but would I spend $30? I don't think that I would. The online play with the replayability is part of the price. Just know the servers aren't really maxed out right now. The game is a couple years old, and I tried the online play. It took me some time to get into some games, and even then it was the same gamer tags popping up over and over. So if Muffin's 27 isn't online, I'm still riding solo. At launch, I think they can get away with that price tag, and I'd be much more inclined to spend that closer to a $30 price range for a game like this at launch. But in its current state as a standalone title, I think a more appropriate price for the consumer is going to be like $20 and under. I think there is an anniversary edition out there somewhere closer to that $35 range. They add some content to it, I think a couple characters, but unless I was a super fan of TMNT, I don't think I can justify the price when games like Sea of Stars is available for the same price. It's worth the play, but if you can wait until it's cheaper, in my opinion, I would do so. Guys, thank you so much again for watching this review and any other video on this channel. You can find me at Ghost Stories Gaming or Ghost Plays Games on all things socials. We do short form game reviews, let's plays, and we have a podcast about and with creators called Midnight Release, so be sure to check that out on the page. That's a recent brand change, by the way. It used to be called Creators Unplugged, but we are advancing and moving forward on that one. So check out the Midnight Release podcast on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts, and I'll catch you guys on the next review. Peace.